Okay, guys, welcome to our fourth day of the orientation. So today we're going to be looking at ICS issues. We will be covering different aspects of ICS. Today we're going to start off, we'll be looking at different aspects such as we're going to be looking at what is this Moodle, how to work with Moodle. We're also going to be looking at issues surrounding the help desk, and then we'll also be looking at aspects of Word and Excel. And then we'll also touch on the idea of the timetable. So today we're going to be looking at a lot of these ICS issues, IT terms that we use in the university. And we're going to be touching on a very interesting topic around the timetable. I know a lot of people have got questions around the timetable, the words such as stream, such as blocks, how do we work with that, and so on and so forth. So I'd like to welcome you guys to our fourth day of the orientation at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. Please sit back, relax, enjoy yourselves. If there are any questions, remember to use our chat services or the question and answer. We also have staff that are waiting in there, so hopefully they'll be able to attend to your questions. If you don't, if your question has not been attended to, we also have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation of our orientation, so you can also ask your questions then. Please just make sure that you've also tested your speaker so that when you are given an opportunity, you can be able to unmute yourself and speak. Otherwise, for all of those, you can just know that your microphones are muted. So when you've been called on to speak, please make sure you unmute your mic and use that opportunity to ask your questions. Okay, so thank you very much. Our speaker who's going to come in immediately after me is going to be Stavisom Kwanza, who's going to
Okay, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Wonderful. Yes. Okay, I think we just lost Dr. Jerry there, but that's okay. We'll proceed. He was about to introduce me. My name is Timetable, the first year experience coordinator for the School of Management, IT and Governance. I'm going to talk to you guys today about a few important tools that we use here at the institution that you need to be familiar with, and also ensure that you sort of understand or you oblige with certain things I'm going to teach you, and so that it becomes easier for you, your journey here, especially during your first year. So some of the things I'm going to talk about, we're going to look at email etiquettes. So we're going to look at once you've set up your email account, now when you start sending emails to staff members, to your colleagues, your fellow students, how do you do it? To your sponsors, for those that have bursaries, and everybody else, even if you want work to the employers, to those that maybe are doing BCom accounting and already have contracts, how do you communicate with professionals in a manner that actually presents you in a positive light? I have been receiving a lot of emails from some of you guys, and I realized that there is a common challenge when it comes to sending a proper email, and that's okay because it's only your first time. You guys are not have not been educated as yet how to compile a proper email. So we will start with that, and after that we'll go on and look at another component where we look at the Microsoft sort of Excel and Microsoft Word, just to give you some tips in terms of how to operate and how to use those tools effectively, and how to ensure that you also shield yourself against things such as load shedding. You don't end up losing all your work. You don't end up having to start from scratch, maybe whilst you were just about to finish. So now I'll start with an email. Here I've compiled a nice document for you guys so that you can just get to see what will be on your screen, especially once you've set up our UKZN email account. We are aware that some of you are still struggling to set up your accounts because your LAN passwords are not set up as yet. And I have been communicating with you also via email to say, you can email IT student help ukzn.ac.za if perhaps you are struggling to set up your password, because your password will help you access your emails. It will help you access your Learn at UKZN, which is a platform where you will find your modules, you'll find content about all the modules that you'll be doing this semester. So this is quite an important process or important phase for you guys, and you need to make sure that you have set up your password so that you can start. As we all know, that lectures are expected to commence on the 13th of February unless anything changes. But in the meantime, that is our sort of expected dates for the commencement of lectures. So let's start and look at my screen here. So this is what you will see when you click on your emails and you say create new email, or you click the new email button, and this will pop up for you guys, and you will now have to type in certain things so that your email can have all the components that are required so that you can send it to the person you want to communicate with. So the first thing that you need to understand is that as a UKZN student, you need to only send emails through your student email. Once your student email is set up, you can only send your emails through your student email. Don't send it via your Gmail account, and don't send it via your Outlook, your Hotmail, your Yahoo, and all the email addresses that you created for your personal use. You need to comply and use the UKZN email address. That's the first important point. So when you're emailing staff members, such as administrators, lecturers, tutors, coordinators, mentors, everyone, the communication has to be formal. Why is this important? It will help you. Let's say, for instance, you sent an email and you're not getting a response, and you want to take that query up with someone. You can be able to share that, okay, I emailed you on this date and I still haven't gotten a response, so I am following up on this particular issue. And the individual, probably the email could have gone to spam, could have been missed for some particular reason. They can just go back and check the history of the conversation and be able to assist you. So it is important for you to ensure that you use the proper email address. The second thing that is important with regards to this is that if you use your personal Gmail account, when it comes to me, it will probably be marked as a spam, or it will be marked as a sort of it's either a spam. So meaning that I would be worried. I'll think that, okay, maybe this is not an approved email address, and I'll probably not see your email. So there's something that we call Mimecast that blocks all the emails, because as an institution, we have been having issues with hackers and people trying to imitate university staff and trying to extort us for certain information or money and all those kind of things, and information as well, or our personal data. So now we are all very careful and very skeptical to look at emails that are not formally UKZN email addresses. All right, so the second thing that you need to do is to double check the email address. So when you're typing an email address, please ensure that the email address is correct. If you misspell the email address, the email will not go through. And you'll think that I've submitted my acceptance of an offer and no one is responding. But you'll find that you probably messed up the email address, and what you know, the email actually bounced, you know, or you instead of Mkonza S, you said Mkonza T. Maybe there is another Mkonza T who works for a different college, and that Mkonza T will see the email and think, why am I getting email addresses from students that I don't even know? Let's say maybe it's someone who works with CMS, our cleaning services, and they'll probably be shocked. Why am I getting emails from students? Simply because you made an error when you were typing your email address. So you need to ensure that it's spelled correctly, and you only the recipient or the person that you're sending it to is the correct individual. Secondly, you should not copy anybody unnecessarily. So there's these two options here. So you have your to, which is the person that you're sending it to. You have your CC, which is someone that you would like to copy so that they can see the email. and you have BCC, someone you have to blind copy. So basically this person only received the email, but they don't see who the email, which or who was the original recipient of the email, meaning that who is the person that this email is actually directed to. So when it comes to that person, it will come as a blind copy. And you find that the person who receives this email, who's blind copied, has no business in the issue that is being discussed on the email. And all they can do is probably just maybe correct you and say you've made an error, or even ignore it. And you will wonder, why are you not getting responses? Another important thing that you need to understand is that you need to ensure that I'm going to go to this, and then I'll come back to the actual content of the email. I'm going to talk about the subject line. I'm getting a lot of emails that have no subject line, which is obviously makes everything difficult. And you find that even within the content of the email, you do not understand what the student is trying to say. So let's say, for instance, the student emails you and say, could you kindly assist me? I have a problem. And that's all. Your financial issue, is it a data issue? Is it a registration query? Is it so you really don't know how to help, and then you end up sending a follow-up email saying, please give me your details, and please sort of highlight what issue are you having. So please ensure that you enter a subject line here that is clear and concise. It needs to be short and straight to the point. I'll make an example. Follow up on my application. That's all you need if you're following up on your application. Follow up on my NSFAS status. So just try to be short and sweet and clear and concise when you are sending that email through. And then the next part of your email address that you need to have, you can't just send something that has no greeting. You're going to be a professional sooner or later. So you really need to get familiarized with this process. So you need to address a person properly. So if you know that the person is a prof, or is a doctor, or is a Mr., or is a Miss, you say, dear Mr. Mkonza, and then you continue with what you're saying. Or you say, dear Dr. Jerry, and then you continue with what you want to say. Or dear Prof. Mkize, and you continue with what you want to say. And please do not assume that a woman is a missus. That's another issue that you find a lot. And I know that in high school, everyone is a ma'am there. So everyone is a ma'am. But here, you cannot assume. If you don't know whether an individual is married or not, just call them by name. Dear Tabiso. The good thing about entering our UKZN email address up here, when you enter the email address, it will give you the name of the person. It will change itself and say Tabiso Sponelong Konza. Then you realize, oh, this is Tabiso. Then you say, dear Tabiso, because you don't know whether Tabiso is a male or a female. And you also might not know whether Tabiso, if he's a lady, or if she is a lady, you don't know whether she's married or not. So please be careful of all of those things as well. And then let's continue now and look at the body. So the first thing that you need to understand is that when you are actually writing your body of your email, or the contents of your email, you need to use appropriate spelling and grammar. Remember, all of you passed English, and you met the minimum requirements for English, meaning that you know how to communicate with basic English language. If you're still struggling a little bit, it's okay, especially if you see that, it's Tabiso, you can send email in isiZulu. You know UKZN embraces the language. So you can send your email in isiZulu. I've had students sending me emails in isiZulu just to make sure that they better explain themselves and they get all the full context of what they're trying to communicate. And actually it makes things easy, instead of trying to put one or two words together and your email ends up losing context and I don't know what's going on. So please ensure that you actually use appropriate spelling and grammar. So once you've typed your email out, read it. Don't just send it, read it first. I'm sure your high school teachers were always telling you about proofreading. You need to proofread everything that you're saying, because one small word can actually change the entire context of the email and the content that you're trying to send. And also, stay away from WhatsApp language. So, the who's it, hey, there's an individual who sent me an email using, all those, where instead of maybe using an A, they use a V. And I really didn't know what was happening. So instead of saying Tabiso using an A, they will use a V. And I say, oh, wow, this person is clearly trying to charm me, but I am not charmed. I'm actually offended because this student has actually met the minimum requirements of being at our institution. So now I'm disappointed. As a lecturer also, you look at your student and you get worried, because now this student still has to type assignments, they still have to write tests, and you wonder if they're going to be using that language, because that will actually award them a mark of 0. So please stay away from those habits. Okay, and also please take a clear or take notice to how you actually phrase your email. You don't use capital letters only. I'm sure we've been taught that from grade 1, where do you put the capital letters, where do you put small letters. University, nothing has changed now. You don't need to be fancy and try to charm me. No, you need to use the language that you were taught. All right, and going further, in your email now, here's another thing that is important. No matter how frustrated you are, be polite, be respectful. One of our key virtues here at UKZN is respect. Everybody is expected to be respectful, either a staff member or our students. So when you come into the university, you are also signing into that contract. No matter how much you've been trying to get assistance and you haven't been receiving it, there's no need for you to be rude. You just need to still be polite and considerate. By considerate, we mean when you send an email, don't expect to be responded to now. Remember, there's about 40, or let's say maybe 1,500 first-year students at UKZN, and probably the lecturer is lecturing all these first years because maybe Economics 101 might be taught in different qualifications. So it is important for you to be considerate and understand that a staff member also have other queries that they are attending to, and they will respond once they get to your query. All right. So in your email now, let's talk about the actual content of the email. Here is another thing that's always missing, especially if you are asking for help with a certain thing. You can't just say, please help me. I'm unable to set up my email address and leave it there. You need to say which qualification are you coming from. We need to know which module are you doing. We need to know what is your student number. So your student number is important. That's how you are identified. Your name and surname, it's difficult to identify you because a lot of students might be using the same name, the same name as you and the same surname. So you might find that there's Tabiso Mkonza who's also in health sciences, there's Tabiso Mkonza who's in medical school. So really your name is not an appropriate way to identify you. So your student number is the only thing that's unique, that we know for certain that no one else has it. So, but you still need to insert your name, your student number, and you tell us what is your module. In my case, you can tell me what is your qualification, and you say, I hope you can assist me, and then you explain your problem. Okay, so now once you identify, you need to identify why you're writing to the person and how they are expected to assist you. So before you even send through your query, you need to think, okay, you can't just say you can't just come and say, I'm so stressed out and leave it there. You know, you say, I would like to have some counseling. I would like to have some mentor address my issue and all of that. So it shows that, okay, you know exactly how you want, because there's a lot of ways I can help you. So it's better if you narrow it down and say, this is my query. Could you kindly assist me in this way? So that the help that you're provided is actually in line with what you're expecting. Okay. If you're sending an email outside of business hours, you should not expect an immediate reply. So if you're sending an email on a Sunday, or you're sending it after 4 p.m., let's say you were asked to send your documents at 9 a.m. and you were only able to send your documents at 3:30. Obviously, that email, because you find that the staff member, although is still in front of their computer, but they are already addressing emails that are already in the inbox. So they will go to a certain email. Once the time for them to knock off comes, then they will stop and they will attend to your emails the next morning. So if it's outside the business hours, don't expect the reply on the same day or immediately. Staff members are not working 24 hours. So you need to allow for at least a 24-hour turnaround, meaning that the next day you wait. If you're still not getting a reply, then you send a follow-up. When you're sending follow-ups, don't send a new email. Reply on your original email and say, dear Sir or dear Stabiso, I would like to kindly follow up on my query below. Then Stabiso will see that, and then they will jump and see the query, and then they'll respond. There's no need for you to send another second email where you say, I would like to follow up on my email, but there is still no message here that actually tells me what was your query. Once now you are done with that part, then you need to do your sign off. Please let me know if you need any further information. Thank you for your assistance. Kind regards. Then you insert your name. Okay, so this is the email etiquettes or the standards that we expect here at UKZN. Remember, you are here to be trained to be an exceptional professional. You cannot just use those informal languages when you are communicating with the staff members, because this is the beginning of your initiation. Every little thing is preparing you to be an excellent professional. So this is why we emphasize on these things. So I'm going to now rush through and do quickly the Excel and just give you a few tips. So I'm going to share my screen again and show you. I was looking at the documents for order of proceedings. Let's start with Microsoft Word. So this is your assignment. Let's assume this is your assignment. This is actually today's program or the program for the week, but let's assume that it's your assignment now. So when you are working on a document like this, before you even type anything, you need to go here and log in with your account. So, but which account do you use? You use your student account. So you can log in and use your student email address and insert your password. I know some of you are still about to set those passwords, it's fine. But once it's ready, every time you use this document, log in. How is this going to help you? For instance, I've not logged in with my personal email address, but you see here on this side of things, there is a document that I was working on probably I opened it maybe on Monday, and it's still here, meaning that, you know, even if I have lost the document, I did not save it, I can still click here and it will shift and go into that document. So that is why it is important for you to log in and actually work whilst you are logged in on Word. The second thing that you need to do is to ensure that, now my personal information is going to appear, sorry about that. Another thing that you need to ensure that you do is to just look at the home screen here. So you click on home, then it will give you options here. So this is where you change your font. When you're writing an assignment, you are told that your font is this. This is the font size that you need to use. the spacing that you need to use, you can check here. You know, if you want to make maybe it's a heading, you want to make it bold, it's italics, you want to underline, and all those things are available here as your tools. You don't need to be doing the old-fashioned way like you were doing in high school, where you had a ruler in your hand and you're underlining everything word for word. Now, everything is easier. So you can do it using technology. And then another thing that is important is to save your work. So when you click on File, it will give you an option to be able to save your work. It is extremely important that your work is saved, especially during these days of load shedding, where the electricity or the power can just run out and you lose everything. So you must log in first in the document, and in addition to that, save the work whilst you are working on it. So maybe write one paragraph, save, another paragraph, save, another paragraph, save. So that even if you do get cut off, you can save the document here. I'm going to click on this save as option because I want to sort of show you something. So let's say now you are working on a Word document, but you want to change it into PDF. I think that's another important thing that you need to know how to do. So if you want to save it as a PDF, you go here, you change the formats of the document and you say PDF. Here's an option. So then once you click here, the document will change and be saved as PDFs, although it was a Word document initially. So that is another thing that is important. So let's say, for instance, you were trying to compile a document together. Maybe it's an ID, you took pictures, you don't have a scanner. You can insert those pictures in the Word document here, and then you can just save as a PDF, and then it will become a PDF document. So those are some of the shortcuts that you learn as you proceed here at university. So these are the main important things. And also remember, you don't abandon the teachings from high school. You're still using the appropriate sort of style for writing. We still need to see full stops. We still need to see headings. We still need to see sort of question marks and all those things. Even though you're writing an assignment and now you're using a laptop or a computer, you still need to stick to the language rules or the language, the styles that you were taught in high school on how to write either an essay and so on and so forth. And now I'm going to stop sharing this and jump straight into the Excel document and just show you a little bit what does it look like. So here's an Excel document. An Excel document is also important because you're probably going to be expected to work with this a little bit on first year, and in modules such as your ISTN, which is your IT or information technology module. You will still be expected to use this. And also it's the same here. You need to log in on the document first so that you do not lose your work. I still have the work that I did on the 6th here that I can click on and look at. Even if I can't find my document, maybe I saved it or I thought I saved it, but I can't find it anymore. I can still click on it and find it. So these are the smart ways of making sure that you don't lose your work. You need to log in on the document and also remember to save. Similar to Word, there is also a sort of home button where you can change a lot of things here. And this you will be taught more, obviously, in your IS&T module, and it's going to help you a lot going forward here and making sure that you are successful here at the institution. So I think this brings the end to my presentation. And like I said, remember the tips that I taught you. So from now on, from all the emails that will be coming through, I'll be expecting a certain structure, certain level of competence, because we are starting now. We don't have to wait for the 13. You are already being inducted. You're already being trained into fantastic professionals. And thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can email me. I'm konza@ukzn.ac.za, and I'm still going to put my email address on the chat. But thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Jerry.
Thank you very much, Stabisa, for that brief around Word and Excel. And our next speaker is going to be Petleko, and she'll be talking about an issue that is, I think, very relevant to a lot of us. A lot of us have been wanting to had a lot of questions around the logins and so on. And so hopefully Petleko will be able to clear that up. And she'll also be having a small word around a tool that we use, a learning management system that we use in the university called Moodle. So Petleko, over to you.
Morning, everyone. I hope everyone is good, and thank you for actually joining us up until this day. Actually, my main thing is to address the main concern that everyone has been facing regarding the login password. So most of you have been asking what's actually this learn password that is actually making our life hectic and all those things. So I'll try by all means to demonstrate, and I would want you guys to actually follow so that whenever you encounter anything, you can put it on the chat so that we address it. Because for me to actually move forward to Moodle and how to actually log into your email address that actually Stavis was talking about, you actually need this learn password. So this is actually the core of everything that we'll be doing today. So I need you to actually follow me when I'm trying to demonstrate so that whenever you encounter issue, and then we can address them now. All right. I'll start sharing the screen of changing password. I think this is where we start. So here, when you're changing the password, I think they've been sending it throughout on how to actually change that. Okay, this is where you go online, because we're going to use the online service self-service website so that you can actually do it from your side. Let me know if you can see my screen, because I'm not sure which one is sharing right now. Okay. Oh, okay, thank you. So here, this is where we're going to start. Most of you, I think you got stuck here. They told you that you need to use, let me start sharing the first year one when you're still new at the university. Let me stop and share this one so that I can manually take you through it so that you know which one you fall under. I think it still shows the same one. Okay, I'll just read it out because I can't share both of them at the same time. Okay, it's fine. So here, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna use your student account. So you can, okay, here is your student number. My student number is 215-029-233. And then it's @stu, but for most of you, it's @stu.ukzn.ac.za. And then the old password, I think this is where you need to use your what do we call this? Your date of birth and all those things that they actually told you on the groups. So it's your password, it's actually it's 2@UKZN, it's 2. On my side, the thing is that it's not going to allow because I already have the password and I'm already registered and everything. So on your side, it's going to be a bit different, but your password is STU and then you put your date of birth. Your date of birth is in the order of date, month, and year. That's the one you need to do. That's the old one. And then to create a new password, you need to check this one. This is what's happening here. So it's a minimum of 1 lowercase letter, which is any lowercase, and then a minimum of 1 upper, and then 1 minimum of numeric character. It can be from 0 to 9, and then a minimum of 1 special character. Special character is $, and star, and percentage, any of those exclamation mark, those are the special characters that they usually that they refer to. And then do not share your password with anyone else, because this is going to be more like your ID password, your ID or your PIN, your account PIN. I mean, say your bank account PIN. So you shouldn't share it with anyone because they will have access to your marks. They will have access to everything that's happening regarding your academics. So you shouldn't share it with anyone. That's why I wouldn't ask you what are you putting here, but please write it down so that you won't forget it the following day. So I think, okay, I think you can show me and then you're gonna submit. And then the new password that you actually created here from all these characters, you need to confirm the very same password and then submit. So is there anyone who's winning or someone who is actually who was able to create it? You can just give me a thumb. Okay, I think we are winning now. Okay, thank you very much. For those who are still struggling, I guess we will actually solve it later on the groups. But as long as I have people who are actually following, it's just a matter of saying your student number. Yours is going to be 223 something at stu.ukzn.ac.za. And then the old password is the one that I mentioned, that it's stu at your date of birth, which start with your date, month, and year. And then after that, you're gonna create a new password, which is the characters that I mentioned. And then it needs to be at least 8 characters. Yes, it's the 8 characters. So if it's less, obviously it's gonna keep on saying error, need to try again. So, but at least make sure that it's 8 characters with all these things that I mentioned here, and you don't need to share. And then confirming new password, you're confirming the very same one. You don't need to create a new one again here. You take the very same password and then you put it here, and then you write it somewhere, you submit, and then we can move on. I see that most of you are winning. Okay, I'll go back to the actual thing of logging in. Okay, I see that my video has frozen. Okay, I'll just switch it off so that it doesn't distract us. Okay, I'm moving on to how to get your Outlook, because Mr. Mkonza Stabiso actually showed us how to write your email and everything, but how do we actually get to that Outlook before we can even write the email? So this is how you're gonna go about it. You go to your, if you're using Android, you can go to Android. What do they call it? It's Google app or something, Play Store. You go to your Play Store and then you actually, I know the struggle between Android and Apple, but we're not there. So you go to Google Store, not Google Store, Play Store, and then you actually download Outlook email app. So after that, it's gonna install. So from that installation, that's when you'll be able to have the Outlook. And then you go to UKZN student web page where you click on student email. So let me take you through that instead of me actually telling you all this. So this is how we actually go about it. Let me stop this one and go to, okay. I'm not sure, okay, I think you can see this one. Okay, let me share. So this is how we actually go about it. You go to UKZN page, which is UKZN. You just go to UKZN, and then it will take you to ukzn.ac.za. That's our official web page. You can see my screen, right? Okay. Why is it taking forever to load? Okay, this is where you are. So from here, you're gonna go to, this is our home page where you get everything that concerns the UK university. So you're gonna go to student portal where you're gonna get all the details. Okay, so it's on the student side. Second system is okay. Let's see student email. Why is it taking us back to this one? Okay, I'll just move from this one and say, go to UKZN student email. And then it's my UK, and then it's gonna, but even from UKZN web page, you can get it. So it's my UKZN, which is my UKZN, and then you go to login. Okay, from my side, since I'm already logged in, it takes me straight to this one, but let me try to log off so that I can show you how to go about it. Yeah, my laptop is just way too slow. Okay, let's wait for it until. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna sign out and sign in again so that you can follow. Okay. Taking its time, you signed out your account, okay? So now we'll need to sign in again, where you just sign in. And then it's gonna, okay, already it saved my details, but you're gonna put in your username. Your username is gonna be your student number at stu.ukzn.ac.za, the very same account that we were creating from the LAN password. So that LAN password, you're gonna use it here. So it's your student number at stu.ukzn.ac.za, and then your password. Your password is the one that you created where you say new password and confirm new password. This is the password that you put in, and then you say sign in. Okay, yes, I want to say sign in so that I don't need to put on the password every time whenever I want to log in. So welcome to 365, and which is and then it's going to say your name, because I actually use my credentials. So yeah, this is how you go in. And then for you to see your emails, you go to Outlook. So, but for those who actually already created the Outlook from your phone, it's gonna lead you straight to here. So this is all the emails that I received. So the focused one is the one that are directed to me, and then the other is the ones that it's usually the communique from the university. Maybe if there's a general email that is coming in. So you see, share, these are university notices. So these are the general emails that I get into everyone, but the focus one is the ones that are coming straight to me, to my email address. And then after sending an email, Mr. Mkonza already showed you how to actually create an email. After sending an email, you go to send items to confirm that you already actually, you've already send the email, because sometimes you can say that you have sent the email, but only to find it in here. So this is if you find it on the drafts, it means that the email hasn't been sent. So you go back to it, and then you actually edit, and then you press send, and then deleted items, other folders. This is where the junk emails are the ones that he actually referred to when your email can actually come to us. The system will detect it as a junk or as a spam. So this is where you'll actually find all the spam emails. And then, yeah, that's it about about our Outlook. And this is where actually all the formal communications will be taking place. And then let's move from email and then use our LAN password again on our Moodle. Our Moodle page for this year, it's LAN 2023. It's LAN 2023.ukzn.ac.za. So if you want to check your Moodle page, you go to this to this site, LAN 2023.ukzn.ac.za. So, and then you're gonna log in. So for me, for me to be able to demonstrate, I'll use the 2021, because that's where there are modules that I can actually show you what's happening here. So, but it's the same. for on your side, focus on Learn 2023, but the login details and everything is the same. Just that for me to show you on what's actually happening inside the Moodle, I need to use this one because it has familiar modules to you guys. So here it's gonna show it's a username. This one is it's slightly different because you don't say @stu.ukzn.za. Here you just put your student number. It's just your student number, and then the password is the same password that you created on the LAN password. This is your LAN password. But here the difference is that you don't add @stu.ukzn.za. So yeah, that's the difference. And then you log in. So for you to know that you have been logged in, it's gonna state your name and your surname. So here it means that I'm logged in. And then here we have the home page, my UKZN mobile app. I've seen that most of you already downloaded this one. It's actually also good. And then if you want to have the Moodle on your phone, you can also download this one so that you can just check your modules anytime, anywhere, without you actually going to browse it. Because here you can see that I'm actually on the browse side where I can actually check it. And then, yeah, these are all the generic details. What you need to focus on right now is my courses. If you click on this one, this is where all the modules that you've registered for will appear. But I'm aware that not all the modules are appearing right now. Some lecturers will actually upload them Friday, some will upload them maybe Monday. So it depends on the specific lecturer. Not all of them will be shown by now, but at least some of them, I believe that they're already there. So here, if you want to check the details concerning the Economics 1CO, you're gonna click on the Economics 1CO. This is what actually happens, appears on your Moodle page. So here is the general, the welcome notes on hi, congratulations, you've made it and everything. And then it's just they welcome you to this module. They tell you a brief about the module on what is the objective of this course, is to give you a basic insight into what microeconomics is all about. And then they show you everything, all like the basic or the summary of the module. And then all necessary resources are made available to you, e.g. lecture slides. This is what you should expect on the Moodle page for your course. It's they actually post the lecture slides, the tutorials, test and exam content. So everything that regarding that module will actually be posted here, and other follow-ups like notification and everything will go to your emails. Please note these examples to give you an indication of the format that and what to expect. So that's actually that. And then please check your UKZN emails and Moodle page every day for any new information pertaining to the course. In particular, ensure that you know your test dates, which are important, because you can't come and say, I didn't know that I was writing. I didn't know that I had a test. Times and contribution weights. So this one, it's actually to show you that maybe for test one, how long or what's the weight for test one, how much is it contributing towards your DP? The DP is what we actually spoke about the other day, saying that it's the Julie performance certificate that you need in order to qualify for the exam. So to the final mark, okay, you are responsible for your own learning and must therefore ensure you are in the right place at the right time. So you can't be saying that, I know that we are writing test one today, but then instead of going to J block room 029, you go to T block, go T1. So you see, it's your responsibility to know your venue, your test, and which test are you writing and what time are you writing. So, but don't worry, those are the details that they will actually communicate almost every now and then until the day. So you'll get the notifications and everything regarding that. So don't worry about that. It's not like you need to check now and then you'll only get to know the day you go to the venue. They will actually keep on reminding you and everything, but it's your responsibility to check your notification. So yeah, here they tell you who's your course lecturer. Here it was Dr. Sangweni from Westville, and then they also show you their office number so that when during consultation times you can actually go to the lecturer's office, and then the tel number if maybe you get stuck, the email that you can actually email your lecturer concerning the module and everything. And then here, this one is where the announcements comes in. Announcements, that's where they remind you of your test and anything regarding maybe if the venue has changed from T1 to M2 or from M2 to G5. So this is where the announcements will be made. That's why they emphasize that you need to at least check in the morning and in the evening so that you know what's going to happen during the day. And then, yeah, new tutorial groups. Here, I guess they changed the tutorial because initially they had the tutorials, but then they had to change the groups. So here they will announce that there are new tutorial groups that you need to join. They will give you, here they attach the list, so you need to check which group you belong to. And then here, these are your tutors. So you need to check from group 3, they know that their tutor is Petel Makaleng, and then how do they go about joining Petel Makaleng's group. So this is just the general announcements that will actually happen now and then so that you are aware of what's happening regarding that module. And yeah, there are a lot of reminder for today's revision. You see, it's not like, as far as we're saying it's your responsibility, but we don't mean that we're gonna leave you until the last day and then say you didn't check. And then the most important thing that you need to look out for is your course outline. Your course outline, it actually gives you everything that you need regarding the module. Who's your lecturer? Prescribed textbook. Most of you have been asking, when are you getting the list? This is where you get the prescribed textbook that you need for the specific module. So for this one, this is the textbook that they needed, and these are the additional reading texts which are recommended, and it means that they are actually interlinked with the textbook that is recommended. So these ones you can download. It's either you can download them from your library, you can download them from Google Scholar or anywhere. But these are just the extra reading that you need to be aware of. But the main textbook is this one. It's going to be written prescribed textbook. So that's the one you're going to check. And then lectures, tutorial, and consultation hours. Each and every module will have the lecture times, tutorial times, and consultation times. So, and regarding the tutorials and attendance of lectures, it depends. Some modules, they actually emphasize that it's compulsory for you to attend all the lecture, to attend 80% of the lectures for you to qualify for the exam. Some, they saying that tutorials actually contribute towards your DP. So maybe you'll find that attendance it maybe contributes 10% towards your DP. So if you've never attended, it means that you're losing a free 10% that might have boosted your final mark. So that's that. And then here, lectures are actually happening on Tuesday. They tell you the period, is it period 8 and 9, and then the time. And then here, instead of the Zoom link, if it's still online, they will show you, they will insert the Zoom link. And then if it's a venue, they will tell you that it's actually J block 024 or J block 8 or L9. So this is where they'll put the venue, but they'll definitely tell you the correct times and the period. And yeah, and then the tutorial times, there are slots that you need to attend. Here, for all Beacon Foundation groups, they had to attend for period 5 and 6. But for B admin, they had to attend from period 6 and 7. So you need to be aware where are you located and what time do you have to attend. And then the Friday one, it's everyone. And then here, consultation time or consultation hours. This is the time where you can actually, if you have any issues regarding the content that was discussed, you can actually go to your lecturer and during this time only. So you can't go there around 10 and be like, are you available? This is this is the time where they actually put everything aside and then dedicate that time for you to actually come and ask any question or any query that you might have regarding the module. So yeah, this is where all this comes in, and then a register will be circulated in both lectures and tutorials to keep a record of your attendance. So each and every tutorial, whenever you attend a tutorial, you need to ensure that you actually sign the register so that they can actually check if you attended. And then it is your responsibility to make sure you sign. No signature, it means that you didn't attend. So if, let's say, you get to the tutorial and then you sit there for 5 minutes and then later on you decide to leave, it means that it's more like you never pitched up because you never signed anything. And I don't think most of the time the register actually it's signed at the end of the session so that you can actually get all the information that is needed regarding the session. So this is where the signing comes in. And then student assessments. This is your test, how they're going to assess you, the assignments, the test, and all the assessment they're going to make during the semester. And then so here, they say students are required to write 3 tests, which are all compulsory. So you need to check all those fine details so that you don't write only 1 test and later on say, hey, I didn't know that I need to write all the tests. So check all the fine details regarding your test and everything. So test 1 schedule, it says that test 1, it will be written, it's gonna cover chapter 1 up until chapter 4, and then they tell you all the fine details that you need to know regarding your test. And then the exam schedules, how much class mark is the DP that we're actually talking about. The class mark is weighted 50% of your final mark. So everything that happened throughout the semester is going to contribute 50%, and then the examination is going to contribute 50% on the side. So it means that after that, they're going to combine the 50-50, which makes 100%. And then a student actually needs the final mark of 50%. But remember, we said that you can actually aim for 50, because if you got 49, that's a total fail. So rather aim higher so that you don't get disappointed. And then, so yeah, it's just that lecture topics, they will tell you which topic will be covered. So yeah, it's just that. And okay, yeah, so that's basically that. For all your modules, this is the information you're going to find in your course outline, which is very important to check before you can even proceed so that you can manage your time wisely. You know, for economics 101, I'm writing on the 5th of March, and then economics accounting 101, I'm writing on the 5th, so that you can have your own timetable posted on your wall. So that will actually be a consistent reminder of what's actually happening with your academics. Okay, this one, they have a timetable because it's the foundation program. Foundation program, they actually create a timetable for them. But for you, it's a different story, which Dr. Jerry will cover, because you have blocks. So these are the tests. These ones, they were writing quizzes. I'm not sure if you guys will still write quizzes, but this is how it shows on your things, your quiz. So you're just gonna click on the quiz, and then it's gonna have your start button. This one is not gonna show all those details because the test has already passed, and here I wasn't registered as a student because I was a tutor. So yeah, it's gonna be this, and the test will actually tell you all the details. It's 20 MCQ per student, 2 attempts, and 2 attempts can be tricky because you'll think maybe you're gonna write it now and then cram the question and then come back later. That's not the case. Most of the time they change. When you do the second attempt, it's a completely new questions. So, and then after that, they're gonna take the highest grade from those two attempts. So let's say the first one you attempted and you got 9%, and then the second one maybe you get, or maybe the first one you get lucky, you get 90%, and you feel like, no, I can get 100 if I do second attempt, and then second attempt you get 9. They're going to take the 2, combine them together and give you the average of the 2. So it might be tricky, but I'm not sure if it's still online, and then they tell you everything, how much it contributes and everything. So that's it from the Moodle page. Yeah, those are the details I think that you need to learn. And then from Moodle, I think Shelley yesterday did mention that actually Moodle is the friendliest app that you can use, because from Moodle, if you maybe you see something and then you want to go to your emails, you can just click here, go to UKZN email, and it's going to take you directly to your Outlook. So you don't need to actually log out and go everywhere, because like I said, the learn password actually is the main thing that will take you everywhere. So you can just move around from Moodle to your UKZN, and then from Moodle, let's say maybe they told you that your additional information or resources that you need, it's a journal from someone else. You can just click here, go to library, and then from library, it actually that's where you can actually, from here you take the whatever that's prescribed or whatever that's recommended, and then you go to your library page, and then it's going to show you everything that's needed there, and then you download your document. And even from here, let's say there's an assignment that you need to submit. So, okay, this is the library where you can download the ebooks, the journals, and go to Google Scholar so that you can get right sources. So it's just that. So Moodle actually is a smart app that actually makes students' life easy. And then here, turn it in. It's, remember we talked about plagiarism. So turn it in is where you actually go to so that you can check your plagiarism. Let's say there's an assignment where you need to write your essay. So even on turn it in, you go to log in, and then you use the very same learn password that you created. So you see the importance of learn password and why we're saying you shouldn't share it. So here is the student number at stu.ukzn.ac.za, and then the very same password that you created is the same one that you're going to put here, and then you log in. And then here, your lecturer is going to give you, or it's going to give you what you need to enroll in a class. And then after that, they're going to show you on how to actually go about checking your similarities if you actually plagiarized. Or okay, let me see how, let me see if there's anyone open so that I can, okay. Okay, yeah, so here is the similarities. So I think the accepted similarity is about, it's up to 15%. My colleagues can correct me. I think here they only allow up until 15%. After that, it means that you are in danger. So you need to make sure that it actually falls within 15%. But it depends on the module. They will tell you the exact percentage that they need for assignment. So here, how the similarities work, I'll show you how to check if maybe
can we wind up? I think we've got 5 minutes remaining now for the next speaker.
Oh, okay. I think, yeah, we're completing. So, okay. So the similarity ones are going to be highlighted like this so that you can check which one it's actually, which one do you need to fix so that your similarity falls within the recommended. So that's more like it from the Moodle page. So the Moodle page actually summarizes everything, almost everything that you need as a student. And I think I've covered almost everything regarding Moodle. Let me see. Yeah, I think I've covered everything regarding this. And then, yeah, I think that's it from me. My colleagues can take over. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Petlego. I think a lot of these, you guys will get to learn as you go on. What is very important that she has actually also talked about is you need to know where your communication happens. Most of your communication is going to happen on Moodle. So you need to be familiar with the site. You need to also be familiar that announcements for your class, things like timetables, you also get them from your Moodle site. So guys, please make sure you go onto this site, the Learn 2023 now at ukzn.ac.za, and make yourself familiar. And also from what Petloko has brought out, which is very important, is that make sure you do not share your login details. Okay. Our next speaker that's going to come up is now Mr. Zulu, who's going to be speaking about the help desk. Mr. Zulu, over to you.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Chere. Let me share my screen quickly. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, good morning, guys. Thanks very much, Dr. Chere. I'm Simangaliso Bayabonga Zulu, the FYE coordinator in the foundation program. So I'm just going to quickly take you through the student help desk or student support, which is the division or the department that is situated in the Information and Communication Center. So these are basic things that you guys need to know so that you can be able to resolve any IT-related issues that you are facing right now and that you're also going to face in the near future. So in the university, we've got 5 campuses, as you are now aware, and each campus is located with the student help desk. So this is a walk-in facility that will assist you should you have any query that is related with issues on how to set up your password, how to retrieve your PIN, and so on. So we've got the ICS Student Call Center, the telephonic support number, which is 031 to 64,000. You can call them at between 8 o'clock in the morning up until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then they can provide you with remote assistance. And then you can also drop them an email. This is their email address, itsstudenthelp@ukzn.ac.za. So if you don't have an access to give them a call, you can drop them an email and then they will resolve your query. Mr. Mkonza has explained about the email etiquette, which I believe is very important. When you are dropping these guys an email, make sure that your query is detailed. You explain your issue so that they are able to assist you. So you must not provide an email with some information that is missing. You must ensure that you provide as many details as you can. And the student working centers, ICS provides student working centers across all campuses. And the services that are being provided in these working centers, they include resetting of the student Active Directory services. These include, as I've said, the password reset, enable or disable student account. So if you're having a problem with your student account, please do not hesitate to contact them so that they can resolve that for you. And then they provide the services of student management services, which includes Student Central, how to access it, online payments, access to results, apply for residence, online application, proof of registration, and so on. And they also configure of student mobile devices, such as your laptops, cell phone, tablets. And if you want to synchronize your emails to go through your cell phone, you're not sure how to do it, you can also approach them and then they will set up for you. So this includes the configuration of all email accounts and wireless connectivity. They also install limited softwares such as the Microsoft Office, my UKZN app. I'm going to talk about that as we move on with this presentation. The Outlook, where you are going to set up your email, and then the SPSS and the antivirus on your laptops, EndNote. And they also install the Microsoft Windows, but only for the NSFAS laptops. So as for those students who are funded by NSFAS, as the semester or as time goes on, you will receive notifications which are going to instruct you of where you are going to collect those laptops. So once you've collected your laptop will be required to install the Microsoft Windows. So you can approach one of these working centers so that they can assist you in terms of how to install the Microsoft Windows. And then they provide services such as troubleshooting, the hardware diagnostics, access controls, authorizations to access labs, authorization to access campus, authorization to access library, and so on. And then the pick counter. The pick counter, it's a printer counter, and you will learn as you are going to be on campus in the next few days that when you go to library or any building on the campus, you will see or you'll notice a printer counter, whereby you will need to insert credits in a form of money, so that you can be able to print or make copies on the library photocopying facilities. And my UKZN app. So as I know that you guys are now tech savvy, so you are familiar with the technology. So the UKZN app is also available on Google App Store or iApp Store. So in order for you to be able to download this app, you can go to App Store on your mobile device, search for my UKZN, and then download it. So you'll be prompted to register using your LAN login credentials. You will then be prompted to enter a 4-digit PIN to access the application. So after entering your 4-digit PIN, you will be SMSed a verification code to your cell phone number that you supplied on Student Central upon registration. So it's very important that you do not change cell phone numbers. If you happen to change your cell phone number, please inform ICS so that they update your details. So you can do this on your Student Central. Even the data that you are going to receive in the upcoming days, you are also going to receive them on the number that you have registered on your Student Central. So it's very important that you keep the university aware of your cell phone number. So you must not use your brothers or your aunties, your sister's cell phone number, because your data will not go to your current cell phone. It will go directly to your sister or your brother, to the number that you used. So it will be difficult for ICS to retrieve those data that have gone through your sister or your brother. So the responsibility is on you to ensure that the cell phone number that you use is the number that belongs to you. So you then need to enter the code that will go through to that number, and then you can reset your forgotten LAN password on that app. You can retrieve your Student Central password. You can view your timetable on that on my UKZN app. You can log in a query with ICS. So in this case, if you don't want to drop them an email, you can go to this app and then you can log a query, and then they will be able to assist you. You can also access your results, your test results, your quiz results through my UKZN app, and you can log an emergency call to RMS. So for instance, this is quite an advanced app. So if you are working on campus, maybe a little bit late, and then you are unsure of your surroundings, or you are suspicious of anything, you can just go to my UKZN app, and then you can log a panic query or a panic button. So they will immediately call you to check whether you are okay or not. If you are not okay, they will ask you to stand wherever you are, and then they will send out help in this case, it will be an RMS official to come and then escort you to your residence or private accommodation that is registered with UKZN. So it's quite an interesting app that is trying to ensure that you everything that you need is just in the fingertips of your hand. And as I've just said, that you can synchronize your emails via your cell phone. So you can choose to synchronize your email to your mobile device or read your email directly via your device. So this could be your cell phone, this could be your tablets and your laptop as well. But one thing that I would advise you guys, that please be very careful and vigilant when you are sending emails using your cell phone. So Mr. Mkonza talked about the email etiquette. So you must be very conscious, must be aware if you are sending an email back to your lecturer or back to anyone who's helping you in that email, especially when the email came to you in bulk or into other classroom mates. So if you want to respond back to your lecturer, so you must not copy in everyone. So you must direct your email to your lecturer or anyone that have sent you that email. So those are the one characteristics of the email etiquette. And to do so, you can download the Microsoft Outlook on your mobile device app from Google Play Store or the Apple App Store using your mobile device. And to download these features, which is Microsoft Outlook and the My UKZN app, it will not cost you any money. So you just need to have the data, which the university is going to provide you. Or you can visit the ICS Walk-in Center for further assistance if you are not sure how to synchronize your email or how to download the My UKZN app. And in addition, on campus, for those of you who will be on campus as of next week and so on, ICS and also the library, they will be providing free computer literacy training sessions that are provided by the ICS and also the library. So I would encourage each and every one of you to register for these sessions. They're quite important to teach you the basic computer literacy. Mr. Mkonza talked about the Microsoft Word and Excel spreadsheet. So it's crucial that you are familiar with these soft skills, because you'll be using them as the semester is beginning and so on and beyond. So these sessions will teach you the basics that you need to know about using the computer facilities on campus. We've got computer facilities, LANs, and your assignments, you'll be writing them using Microsoft Word. And for some of you who are especially in doing accounting, you'll be using most of the time Excel. So you need to familiarize yourself on how to use these basic computer features. So this is also an introduction to the applications, systems that you may need to log onto for further duration of your studies at UKZN. As I've stated, as you go on beyond your first year of studies to your second year, third year, and for those who are doing the extended curriculum into your fourth years as well. So these applications and systems will help you to ensure that you use them well. And we've also have a library. Every campus, we have 5 campuses I've mentioned. Every campus has its own library. And you can access the library as well online using the link that I have put in the slide, so that you can get any electronic resources that you may need. You can also book a time to see a librarian, or you can make a booking to use certain textbook that you want to use for your assignments, for your essays, and so on. So this system is actually user-friendly, It's just that you need to learn how to use it. And these ICS student working centers that I've just mentioned, as I've said, they are available on all our 5 campuses. And they are operating from Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. in the morning up until 16:30 in the afternoon. And they are based in these buildings. So if you're in PMB, so this is where the working center is situated. If you are at Westville, this is where the working center is situated. And if you are at Howard College, this is where the working center is situated. And also in the other 2 campuses. But for you, you will not be based in these other 2 campuses. So this is where you will get assistance in terms of how to set up all of the other issues that I've mentioned in my previous slides. Furthermore, these are the RMS emergency lines or telephone numbers that you need to keep them on your cell phones. And these numbers, guys, that will also be available at the back of your student card. So if there is any issue that you are having on campus, for instance, you are ex-resident and you are feeling sick, the first point of contact is RMS. You call them, but tomorrow we'll be having another session with the student support services. So they will go into details about how to go to get assistance if you are feeling sick and so on. So I'm just touching this so that you're aware. If you're having any issues at rest, first point is you reach out to RMS, you call them, and then they will ensure that you receive assistance as soon as you can. Even if you're in the library, you are being suspicious of any activity, call RMS, and then they will come to ensure that any matter is being resolved. And especially for you guys who will be in the library or anywhere on campus, this is my advice, that ensure that you keep your belongings very safe. As you are all aware that we actually live in very strange times. So the responsibility is on you to make sure that you keep your belongings very, very safe. And when you're at the library, don't leave your personal belongings unattended. So make sure that you keep your belongings very safe. Although we have cameras, but the cameras will not be everywhere. So that is why I'm actually advising that you must keep your belongings quite safe. Even on around campus, you must make sure that you keep your stuff very, very safe so that you do not find yourself to be in a situation whereby you find your stuff to be lost and so on. So this was it for me from the student help. And I would now like to hand over back to Dr. Jerry. Thank you so very much. And thank you. Back to you, Dr. Jerry.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zulu, for the presentation. I'd quickly like to just talk about one pertinent issue, which is surrounding the timetable. So I'll be just making a presentation. Yes, thank you. So with regards to the timetable, guys, there's a number of queries that have come through. Where do I get the timetable? I've got clashes in my timetable. So those are the issues that I want to just address. And in doing so, I just want you, the basic tools that I need so that you can be able to follow. So I'm sharing my screen now. Here we go. Okay, so let's start with the idea of creating how do you go about creating your timetable? Where do you get your timetable from? The first thing that you need your two basic tools. You need a blank generic timetable like this, which you can get from the schools or any of the academics can provide you with this timetable. Quickly, I would like to just speak about the generic timetable, what it looks like. So this is what your timetable is going to look like throughout your years in the university. This is how the university plans its times, its academic times. So you can see in a day, you've got 10 periods from period 1 to period 10, okay? And then obviously this is Monday to Friday. Now, each of those periods are 45 minutes periods and with slight breaks in between to allow you to move from one venue to another, okay? I think it's about 15 minutes or 10 minutes to move from one venue to another. So you should know that you've got 10 periods in a day, that period 1 up to period 10, and then each of those periods are 45 minutes, okay? So this is what your generic timetable is going to look like, your basic timetable, that's what it's going to look like, okay? Everybody should get one of these blank ones. And the next thing that you need, your second tool, when it comes to your timetabling issues, is you need the college handbook. Remember, in the beginning of the orientation on Monday, we talked about the college handbook, and a colleague of mine referred to the timetable as this is the Bible that you use, and definitely. So this is the book where everything that you do in the university comes from, okay? So you all need your handbooks on hand when it comes to developing the timetable. Specifically, I need you to, if you have the timetable, or those that, those that are going to get the handbook, I've put the handbook in the chat, including a blank timetable for you. I think it's on page 64. That's where you need, where you actually have it gives you the structure of your degrees, okay? So on page 64 here, you can see this is our Bachelor of Commerce General, okay? So this is our BCom General. Slightly below that, we have law, I think. We've got the next one is Bachelor of Commerce Law. That's the degree structure. And then you have got your accounting that follows after that, okay? So this is the degree structure for your accounting, okay? So I just wanted to let you know, to be familiar with where you find your degree structures in the college handbook. So from round about page 64. So let's go back. I'll just use an example of the BCom General, okay? So this is our BCom General. When I mean degree structure, I'm saying that here is where you're going to have all of the modules that you're expected to complete between your first year, your second year, and your third year, okay? Depending on what program that you're in, okay? So your Bachelor of Commerce, for instance, your first year, these are the 10 modules that you do. You need to come out with a total number of credits of 160 credits. And then your second year, you're going to do these, you should be doing about 8 modules, and your total number is going to be about 128 credits. Your third year, again, is another 128 credits. So your entire credit load for your Bachelor of Commerce degree is 416 credits. If you're doing BCom accounting, it should be around, let's see. Your BCom accounting. There you go, your BCom accounting here, 160, you see that, first year. And then second year and third year, and your total credits are 448 credits for your degree. And these are the BCom General, BCom accounting, the mainstream ones, okay? So let's go back and look at your BCom General first year, okay? So this is our BCom General, and this is at first year. So this year, you're expected in semester 1 to be taking 5 modules: accounting, principles of economics, ISTN, management, and quantitative methods, which is mathematics, okay? And then in your second semester, you do accounting again, you do principles of economics, you're going to do ISTN, you're going to do law, commercial law, and then you're going to do statistics, okay? So 5 modules in the first semester, 5 modules in the second semester. Each of those modules has got a 16 credit load, okay? Now, what's most important when you're creating your timetable is to actually take note of your code, the code for the code. Every course has got a code. Accounting, the code is ACCT 101. Economics, first semester, principles of economics is known as Econ 101. ISTN, for business, first semester is known as ISTN 101. Management 120 is known as MGNT 120, and quantitative methods is known as Maths 134, okay? So first thing we do, we've got our blank timetable. Secondly, we need our college handbook so that we know exactly what are the modules we should be doing in the first semester, which is what I've given you. If you're doing BCom accounting, BCom General, these are the modules that you should be doing. If you're doing BCom accounting, the modules that you should be doing are here, okay? Here, the difference is you're going to do Stats 130, Okay, so these are the first semester modules you should be doing for BCom accounting. So you need to get to know what modules you're going to be doing in each particular semester. Okay, now that we know the modules that we're doing and we've got a blank timetable, we go now to do some adventure, which is going online. Okay, a second thing that I've noticed is very common amongst us, guys, is that we are not taking time to read. It's important to read around, and that's why they say for your degree, you read towards your degree, okay? So you need to take time to read this information. The university puts out a whole lot of information for you to be able to read, for you to be able to be in the know, don't guess. One of those places is that you need to familiarize yourself with the university website. Again, most of the information that's on the website is to answer your questions and to clear out all of these issues. So go to the university website. Under the university website, go to support services. Okay. Under support services, when you browse, when you go downwards, you're going to see your student portal there. Click on your student portal. And this is specifically where you have all the information to assist you as a student. You want to check your status. You want to study at UKZN. You want to go to what is known as Student Central. Okay, exam timetables, lecture timetables, rack applications, all of the information and the handbook. This is where you get your college handbook again. So you go to the university the main website, and then you go to support services, and then you come and you select your student portal. So this is where all the information for students is going to be available. Now let's go into our lecture timetable. When we click into lecture timetable, it's going to give us all the timetables. Remember, University of KwaZulu-Natal has got 5 campuses. So it gives us information across all of these different campuses, okay? The timetables for these different campuses. So what is important to you is to know which campus you belong at, okay? So that's where your focus should be. Now, the campus that you belong at, for instance, if you belong at Pietermaritzburg, you come and hover, put your cursor over Pietermaritzburg campus. Don't click it, just put it over it, and it's going to open another window. On that window, you're going to select semester 1 modules, okay? Then you have your timetable and venues. When it opens there, you scroll down, and here you see semester 1. So you click onto semester 1. This is your campus web timetable. So you come into your web timetable. When it opens, you click onto your web timetable. It will open an option called Timetable Finder, and you click onto that. Here is where you have a list of all of the timetables for all of the modules that are happening on the Pietermaritzburg campus. Remember, I said I'm on Pietermaritzburg, so I selected Pietermaritzburg, and it gives me all of the modules that are taught in all the venues on the Pietermaritzburg campus. Then you apply the tool now, you apply the information that we started with. And the information that we started with was to do what? To 1, get a blank timetable. Secondly, is to get your college handbook and to know the modules that you're doing in that particular semester for that particular degree. So we said we are doing BCom General in first semester. If I can just make some space here. Let's see. Oops. I just want to bring up again the handbook. So remember, we had said that we are BCom students doing our BCom General. And in first semester, these are the modules that we'll take. Semester 1, we're going to be taking ACCT, 101, we're going to be taking Econ, ISTN, and so on and so forth. So now that we know the modules, we go into our timetable finder that is open there. So the first thing that we'll do is we're going to say, okay, we start with accounting. So here, when you look there in accordance to alphabet, we're going to see accounting 101. This is the only accounting 101, okay? Accounting 101, P1A, accounting 101. We go to the PDF there, the PDF opens, and this is the timetable for accounting 101 from Monday up until Friday. Now, this timetable is going to tell us all of the activities that go on in Accounting 101. What you see here in black are the lectures, okay? What you see here in pink are your tutorials, and it tells you very clearly, these are your tutorials, okay? So what is in pink are the tutorials. What you see in black are the lectures. Now, the generic structure of your BCom modules is that you should have 4 lectures in a week for that particular module. And then you should have some of them also come with tutorials. When I say 4 lectures, I mean 4 periods of that particular module, okay? So when you see here, you're going to see your, on Tuesdays, looking at your timetable in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th period, on Tuesday is when you're going to start your first lecture of accounting, okay? So it shows us very clearly here on Monday, there's no lecture. The lectures only start on Tuesday in the 6th period, which is 12:20. Now, if you notice, it sits exactly snug into one block, meaning that this only is a period from 12:20 to 13:05, if I'm not mistaken. That is your 45 minutes. So this is one period. Then on Wednesday, do we have accounting? There's nothing. On Thursday, do we have accounting? Yes, we have accounting. And the accounting block sits across 2 periods. So which means we have accounting on Thursday. It's a double period from 8:40 up until 9:35. Okay. Then on Friday, do we have accounting? Yes, we have accounting. It sits into one block only. We have our accounting that starts at 7:45. Okay. So this shows you now, if we were to count, we'll count 1 period there, 2, 3 periods, because this is a double period, and then the 4th period is on Friday. So that's how you are going to you're going to go back into your timetable now, the blank timetable. And in the blank timetable, we are going to say, okay, on Tuesday, we have accounting. So here on Tuesday, we're going to say, I'm going to have accounting. Okay, just a brief. And then on Wednesday, do we have accounting? No. On Thursday, do we have accounting? Yes. So we go into our timetable again and we say accounting on Thursday. When is it? On Thursday, your accounting is between 8:40 and 9:35. So it's a double period from 8:40, Thursday, 8:40 across there. We're going to have accounting there. And we're going to have accounting there as well. And then we go back and we see, okay, what about Friday? Yes, we have a Friday. We have accounting at what time? It's at 7:45. So you go back and we say 7:45 here. We add accounting, okay? Now, when we go back into the timetable, it shows us something strange. There's this pink, these pink blocks, okay? Now, these pink blocks basically is our tutorials. And look at this. We've got 2 pink blocks that are on the same day, Monday. So there's one pink block that starts at 2:10, it ends at 3. There's another pink block that starts at 4 o'clock and it ends at 4:45, okay? So these are 2 double periods. Now, the rule is that for each module, you only attend 1 tutorial per week. Meaning on Monday, you either choose to attend between 2:10 to 3 or 4 o'clock to 4:45. You don't attend both of them. So I look at my timetable. I'm in Pietermaritzburg. I have to take a shuttle going down to Durban. That's where I live. And the last shuttle leaves at 2 o'clock. Meaning the last shuttle leaves at 4 o'clock. Meaning that I can take the tutorial that starts at 2, ends at 3, and then at 4 o'clock catch the shuttle. Because if I take this one that starts at 4, ends at 5, then I don't have transport going home. So I prefer to take this one that is at 2:10. So we go back into the timetable and we say, I have chosen for myself that I will take this tutorial that starts at 2:10. So here I can say ACC accounting TAT. Okay. I think it's, yeah. Yes. So I have populated for accounting. This is my timetable for accounting for the week. I go back again into my let me just move it. Sorry, the screens. So I go back again into the handbook And when I look at the handbook, I say, okay, accounting I've covered. The next thing that I look at is econ. Okay. So if I go, now I know I'm in Timetable Finder. So all I need to do is go. Sorry, go back rather than close. So going back. So accounting is covered. The next thing I look for is econ 101. So I scroll down A, B, C, D, E. Econ 101. There it is. But the funny thing is that there's Econ 101 here, Econ 101 R1, Econ 101 R2. Both of them are principles of accounting. Now, this is confusing. What you need to do now is to look at each of them and see how it fits. Now, this is what we refer to as streams. This is what we refer to as blocks. This also answers the question, I have got a clash. No, you don't have a clash. You have just not created your timetable properly because you've taken a stream that clashes with something else. Now, if you notice for your accounting only has got one stream. There's no other accounting. So this you have to do when it is. You've got no choice. Therefore, you come back into your next module, which is your economics. So let's pick the first stream and see what's in our first stream. Okay, so for economics, our first stream, it says Monday, we've got a lecture at 10, a double lecture between 10 and 11. So we go back into the timetable, double lecture between 10 and 11. So we say econ. Here, econ. We've selected that one. So we're in the first stream. On Tuesday, we've got a pink block there, and the pink block means it's a tutorial. So the econ tutorial is on Tuesday at 7:45, okay? So we go back on Tuesday. Oh, 7:45, it's free. So here we have got econ TAT. We put it there. We go back again into on Wednesday. What happens on Wednesday? On Wednesday, there's a lecture, and then there's a TAT here. I don't have to do this TAT because the rule says you only do one tutorial per week. So I've already accounted for my tutorial period, which is on Tuesday at 7:45. Okay, so the only thing that I need to do is the lecture here, and the lecture is at 8:45. So I go back into the timetable on, what day is this again? On Wednesday. So timetable on Wednesday, at what time? At 8:40, Wednesday, 8:40 here. We've got our econ lecture. What's happening on Thursday? On Thursday, we've got a lecture at 1 o'clock, econ single period. So I go back, say, okay, on Thursday, what's happening? 1 o'clock, my 1 o'clock is free. So I say econ there, okay? Then I come back and I say, okay, now on Friday, let me see what's going on Friday. On Friday, at 2 o'clock, I've got another lecture. So I go back into my timetable and I will say Friday at 2 o'clock. Am I free on Friday at 2 o'clock? Yes, I'm free. So there I say econ on Friday is free. So I put my econ. Now I've populated my accounting. I've populated my econ. Again, I repeat the process. I go back into the handbook. Not there. I go look for the handbook. That should be the handbook. I go back into the handbook. Again, what's the next one is ISTN. So I go back and I say, okay, ISTN, when is my ISTN? Timetable finder. The next module that I'm dealing with is ISTN E. So I look for ISTN. Should be here, ISTN 101. When I look ISTN 101, again, there are two streams here. So I pick another stream. Now remember, the reason why most of the times, answering the question of clashes, the reason why most of the times you have clashes is because you are picking the same stream for different modules. Chances are you have two modules that are two lectures of these modules that are taking place on the same day at the same time. So the best way to run away from you creating clashes is try and variate. So we know that econ, I selected R1, which was the stream. So ISTN, let me select R2. It's the same being taught, R2 there. So R2 ISTN on Monday, there's nothing. On Tuesday, it's at 1 o'clock. So I go back into my timetable. Tuesday, 1 o'clock ISTN there, ISTN. And on Wednesday, ISTN is when it's at between 9 and 10. So on Wednesday, it's a double period. On Wednesday, I say there's ISTN there, ISTN, Wednesday, ISTN there, because it's a double period. Then I go back and I say on Thursday, when ISTN is at 12:20. On Thursday, ISTN is at 12:20. My 12:20 is free, ISTN there. And then I go on Friday. No lectures. I have a tutorial at 9:35. So Friday, how is my Friday like? 9:35 is free. Here I've got ISTN that. So what we've done is for economics. We've also done for accounting. We've also done for ISTN. I think you guys are now university students, senior students. There's no need for me to bore you and repeat the same thing over and over. I think you get the gist of the issue here. So that's in essence how you're going to create your timetable. Let me just stop sharing that screen and come back here. So that's how your timetable actually works out. So you have to, 1, get a blank timetable. 2, get your college handbook so that you make sure that you're familiar with the modules that you're doing in that particular semester. Please avoid this thing. And it's only normal when you don't know to want to ask a friend, which is okay. But now you're a university student, you need to take charge of your education. So know what modules you're doing. Get the handbook for yourself and know that, oh, when I'm in second year, these are the modules I'll be doing. In third year, these are the modules I'll be doing. In first year, these are the modules that I'm going to be doing, okay? So learn that, then that's how you create. If you happen to find yourself in a situation where you have a clash, you've got a module that, let's say you've got ISTN on Tuesday at 10 o'clock. And then now you're setting up for economics and you find that there's economics also on Tuesday at 10 o'clock. What you do is you go back, just select a different stream and voila, you are fine. So that's how the clashes are actually created. Where can I get the blank timetable? I've actually just put a blank timetable up in the chats right now. Let me just put it again. But you can get it from a department, anybody, a friend who has been studying, they should be able to give you a blank timetable. You can create one for yourself, which is not necessary. I think you'll make your life unnecessarily difficult there. Okay, so that's the first way, that how the timetable actually goes. That's how you create a timetable for yourself. The second way, an easier way, is that your department, normally when you attend your lectures on Monday, the first lectures, your department will tell you, okay, these are when the lecture times are going to be. So all you do is take those lecture times and then you populate them into your timetable on your own. So I've shown you the long way, the actual way that you can do it now without actually waiting for your department or asking somebody. But sometimes departments are also very user-friendly. They'll put up they'll give you the timetable for that particular module. So you can't, let's say you're doing BCom General, you are not going to go and find somebody who from the ISTN department who give you the entire timetable for your BCom General. They'll give you the timetable for ISTN. Somebody else, your other lecturers in maths will give you the timetable for maths and so on and so forth. An example I've just put in here, for those that are doing foundation, we've actually created the timetable for you. So I've actually put in the foundation timetable for the Pietermaritzburg campus. Please, let's be clear. This is for the Pietermaritzburg campus. That's what your entire timetable is going to look like after you've done the populations themselves, okay? At this point, I think I have finished with that, with the timetable, and I would like to open up the floor for questions because we should be logging off very soon. Are there any questions with regards to the timetable? We can take them now. The session is open. Is anybody who's got questions? Mrs. Langa, could you help us maybe in moderating the conversation in terms of the questions? There was a hand by Petlego as well. Petlego, you had a question, contribution?
No, I was actually saying that if they can't find the timetable that you sent, they can actually check the one that you were referring to from the timetable finder, and then they can create it by themselves.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Maybe let's take some questions with regards to the timetable now. I'm just looking through the chat because I think Ms. Langer is still trying to organize the mics. Whoever has the timetable, please send it on the WhatsApp group. Okay, this is something I would like to address. Guys, now that you're in the timetable, you are at the university, you need to be proactive. Don't say, give me, go looking for it. We've now shown you how to actually get onto timetables. When you get onto timetables, there's a blank timetable that you can actually get from there as well. And then you can go ahead and creating it, okay? So don't sit back and say, give it to me. Go be proactive and look for the information yourself. We've told you where to get it. Please work onto getting it. Tabiso? There's a
thank you,
comment.
Dr. Jerry.
The floor is yours.
My contribution is around those that are still trying to register. So I want to advise them that, you know, just because your registration has not gone through yet, it doesn't mean that the university will wait for you. So you need to be proactive, meaning that in those groups that we've created for you, either for your modules or also for the FYE, find students that are also doing the same course as you, and find information, because you might not have access to Learn at UKZN, you might not be able to work with the app as yet, but you need to find links and start attending so that you don't miss out, because the university will proceed with or without you. So that's the unfortunate part. However, this is how things go at university. You need to be proactive. You need to access the help from the people that are at your disposal so that you are not left behind. So do not say, just because I'm not registered, I'm just going to sit back and relax. By the time maybe you are registered, maybe after 3 weeks, maybe it will be a week where you are starting test 1. And that's always an issue, because a lot of students don't attend and then they find out there's a test and think that something is going to change, but things won't change. Things keep moving. So you need to also make sure that although you're not registered, don't make that as an excuse. Don't use that. Don't try to be a victim. Be proactive and make sure that you are also catching up with everybody else.
Thanks, Tabiso. We're going to be closing very soon, so I'd like to take questions urgently. There's one good question that I got. A student asks, where do I actually find the venues? When you go into Timetable Finder, when you actually look at your timetable, I've actually shared the screen. This is the timetable for ISTN. If you read in the blocks, okay, the information, all the information is actually being given to you. So you're being told it's ISTN, you are in stream 2, okay? And when you look further, it says which room you're in, Chem Out. So Tuesday, you're going to be attending in Chem Out. On Wednesday, when you look, you're going to be in Chem Out. On Thursday, you're in Chem Out. And then on Friday, the tutorial is also going to be in Chem Out. So just please make sure that you take time to actually read through. When you read, you'll be told you're going to be in DSLT and so on and so forth, different venues, but all of the information is actually provided for you in the timetable itself. So that's how you tell where the venues are. When registering, I was given modules. Do I use them for the timetable or use the ones in the handbook? The modules that you were given and the modules that you find in the timetable are exactly the same. So don't worry. How do we attend lectures without registering? Okay, so you're advised, guys, to please register as soon as you can. If you are still in the process, it would be good to get whatever evidence that you have, move with it. And if you are actually asked that you are not registered, just show whatever evidence to say, look, I'm trying to finalize my registration. Hopefully you will be allowed to attend. I can't find modules, entrepreneurship 7, or you are not supposed to be here. This is actually a first year orientation session. So please find the appropriate person to actually assist you with that. If it's module entrepreneurship 7, you're actually supposed to be a very senior student.
Sorry, Dr. Jerry. I think with this, the student saw Petejo's example. No, those are not your modules. She was using her modules that she was registered for to show you an example. You're not supposed to be doing those modules. Those are modules from honors.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, what it is that I've given you the handbook. So with the handbook, now you know the modules. And that's the reason why I didn't want to tell you the modules. I gave you the handbook and I showed you that in first year, these are the modules you should be doing. In second year, these are the modules that you're doing. If you're doing BCom accounting, these are the modules. If you're doing BCom general, these are the modules. So you should be very clear now with what modules you're doing. What happens if you are a transfer student and did half of your modules? Okay, what I would actually ask you to do is if you could please direct that question in your mentorship group, and your mentorship group will upscale it to your coordinators, and then we'll deal with it appropriately. I would just like us to deal with the first year issues, just the joining in. Otherwise, it's a good question, but please just make sure you push it through your mentor and the mentor will hand it to you. I'm doing my honors. I'm sorry, this is a first year orientation. So you should have an appropriate orientation for honors. What about FYE students? Now, all first year students are part of the first year experience, which is referred to as FYE. So all first year students should have a mentor. If you don't have a mentor, join into the WhatsApp groups that were spread out, okay, with regards to the different degrees, BCom accounting, BCom general, and foundation or law. Please make sure you join into those WhatsApp group and you'll be allocated a mentor from there. If I am
Sorry, yes? Dr. Jerry, for now, all the mentors are in the groups. So that's why we actually advise.
That's the reason why I'm saying all of them should just join into the groups. Yes. Yes.
Yes, the mentors
so everybody
are
just
there.
Please get into the groups and you'll be sorted out from there. Just make sure that you are in a particular group. Okay. Please send me the link for the WhatsApp groups. We are going to share the links after this session. If I choose A as a timetable block during registration for the module, can I sort out my timetable with another timetable? Yes, you can. You actually can. So listen, the timetable blocks have got nothing to do with your registration. So don't panic, don't worry. Okay. It's just that obviously, if you haven't organized your timetable well, you'll be having these so-called clashes, and it can be very frustrating. But otherwise, you can create your timetable at any time. Obviously, as soon as possible before the lectures happen. Okay. So what happens is that, let me also explain this, is that if you have streams, what normally happens with a stream, let's say you are in economics and economics has got 2 streams. What we are basically saying is that the lecture is going to be repeated twice. Okay. So for each stream, if you've got 4 lectures in economics, those 4 lectures will be repeated again in another stream. So you don't have to attend all of them. Otherwise, you're going to be attending repeat sessions. Does each week have a different timetable? No. So all of what you have, when you create a timetable for the week, that is the timetable you will run with until the end of the semester. If I'm registering for BCom General and in the process of switching to BCom Accounting, which qualification will I make a timetable for? You will attend where you are registered until you are confirmed to be moving to a different stream. Otherwise, you can end up missing a lot of work and then your application is for some reason denied. You might end up in a problem. So please take yourself where you've registered and make sure that you attend there. When I registered for my modules for BCom General, I chose one module from BCom Law. Will that be an issue? No. So what happens is that if you just go into your timetable, you are expected to actually do law, okay? Commercial law. So that's not a problem. That's actually part of your timetable the way it's supposed to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're supposed to close this session at 8 o'clock, unless my colleagues would like to add in a word. Ms. Naidu. Any other colleague, if you'd like to put in a word, otherwise 12 o'clock, we're supposed to be closing the session.
Maybe Dr. Cherry, just to say to students, if maybe your question was skipped for some reason, you can email us, all the coordinators, and we will assist you. My email address is mkonza@ukzn.ac.za. I'll also put it on the chat, and other coordinators will put their email addresses on the chat as well.
Yeah.
So we will address the
I think,
issues
that's a
even
great idea. Can
outside
the coordinators, yes, can the coordinators just quickly put it in? Sorry, Tavis, for speaking over you, is because it's going to automatically cut. So I just wanted to everybody to put in their email addresses. Yeah, then it will be easier. Thank you so much, guys, for attending, and hopefully we'll see you during the rest of the semester. And enjoy yourself at the university. Have a good time. And if you see any of us, please stop us, greet us, and yeah, welcome again. So until the first session, guys, bye-bye.